Hello and good day, you wonderful people. Welcome back to another Back to the Basics, where today we're going to be exploring the complex and intriguing past, present and future of our best beloved turtles and tortoises. So without further delay, take a seat, sit back, bring out your beverage of choice, and enjoy. Turtles and tortoises. What's the difference, you ask? Well, no one really knows. For the only real difference people notice is where they are in the zoo and how people pronounce their names. Tortoise. Are they related then? Again, no one knows. Well, actually, I can tell you this. You can find that the scientific definition of a turtle refers to all the species under the order of testudines. Which, if you didn't know, let's quickly go over the classification of animals. So first, we look at the kingdom of the animal, which for us is going to be animals. Next, we identify their phylum, which sounds complicated, but it's just really whether they can stand up for themselves. Okay, you may have not realised that, but that was a joke, so I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes explaining it. However, if you got it the first time, then feel free to skip ahead, if you can through your tears of laughter. Therefore, one of the main categories in the phylum stage of identification is whether it has a vertebrae or not, meaning has a backbone or spine. So almost all the large animals you think of, like humans or moose, are vertebrates. This consequently makes my joke funny, as I said, whether they can stand up for themselves, which relates to someone not standing up for themselves in a confrontation, therefore having no backbone. Which, trust me, if you got it the first time, you'd be dead from laughter. Wait, where were we? Turtles, tortoises, and phylum. So the next stage of identification is their class, for which our case is going to be reptiles. Next, we find their order, which we said at the start is testudines. So we now know that all creatures under the order of testudines are turtles. So what are tortoises? Well, this is where it becomes a little bit funky, as tortoises are also found under the order of testudines. This means that all tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises. Sound good? Great, because there's more where that came from. For although all tortoises live on land, not all land-dwelling turtles are tortoises. Do you see why no one knows the difference between them now? Such as the box or wood turtles, which live primarily on land, but are still classed as turtles due to other contributing factors. And if you're still confused by all this, then great, because I'm pretty sure they made it that way just to confuse us. But if that was the philosophy of turtles, then this is now going to be the history lesson. So let's start from the beginning, where the oldest fossil of a turtle was dated. That was to the mid-Triassic period, meaning these creatures have been roaming the earth and its oceans for roughly 237 million years. Admittedly looking quite different to their modern-day counterparts due to drastic amounts of natural selection. Proven by the statistic that only one in 1,000 turtles make it to adulthood. But after the Triassic, the turtle shape stayed relatively similar through to the Cenozoic or modern age, where populations were scattered across the world, from the vast oceans to the dry savannas, with one of the most famous examples being in the Galapagos, where about 2 to 3 million years ago, they arrived in the islands and split into 14 different species, which the largest of those being giant tortoises, that are so well known today due to their hefty size of up to 1.2 meters in length and about up to 300 kilograms in mass. However, when humans discovered these gentle giants, these outstanding measurements did not help them. In fact, it almost drove them to extinction, as the animals can survive over 6 months without food or water, which made them ideal for sailors and crew to keep them aboard as low-maintenance, readily available fresh meat on long voyages. However, thanks to successful conservation efforts, they have become one of the first animals in history to be made a protected species, and have since had their numbers steadily rise, which is nice to see. But also, side note, before we wrap up about tortoises, I wanted to show you this. Yep, just thought you should be warned. Anyway, marine turtles. I mean, most of my knowledge about these guys, and probably yours too, come from an episode of Octonauts I watched when I was 6, and all the David Attenborough documentaries. But let's start with what we do know. They have flippers, they have a shell, they live in water, and yell totally sweet while riding the EAC. And all you really need to know, except for that, is that they're also able to live forever. And they lay eggs, which is odd considering that they're marine animals, and they're one of the only animals to do so, where they then bury their eggs in the sand. And hey, pretty nice fact about that is the temperature of sand helps dictate the gender of the turtle. So if the sand is cooler, it's more likely to be a boy. And the opposite is true for the other way around, as when the sand is warmer, a girl is more likely. But there you go, that's all we've got time for with turtles and tortoises. Hope to see you once a week every week, and that the best of your life is yet to come. Bye!